Inspiration from Emma Hardinge Britten. Address to the Wildfires. When I glance over the names I have included in the above ominous title, I feel as if you, O my Pantheon people, children of my memory, cherished subjects of many a sublime lesson, which your histories have read me, deserve some apology for the strange classification which I have made of you beneath the cognomen of the Wildfire Club. Sweet faces, angelic in their purity and patience, peep out from my very inkstand, and form themselves into patterns all over my paper, in silent yet piteous protest against the demoniac name. My noble improvisator and fair Gabriella, faithful Hannah of the Grange, and reverend old Tom Martin, gentle Scottish Mary, and Margaret in Felix. Can the flitting night fires of corruption and unreality be gleaming on those brows now radiant with light from the land of never-setting suns? Let your own life histories answer the question, and so let every question be settled between humanity and its accusers. Say what it will, the world may call names and give titles, but can never create character or change life histories. Life is too strong for the world's tongue, and the still small voice of truth will make itself heard when the fires of passion are burnt out, and the whirlwind of slander has spent its fury. And yet, whenever the fitful light of a half-revealed science flashes up from the bogs of ignorance, straightway the world cries, "Beware, it is a will-o'-wisp." When some lightning soul cuts its way from the clouds of conservatism into the free air of investigation, the world regards the fire-streaked footsteps of the pioneer aghast, and closing doors and windows against the divine messenger, murmurs from behind the shutters of pride and prejudice, "Beware the wildfire." Whenever the giant arm of reform stretches up its mighty proportions to reach the fruit which pygmies fail even to discern, the murmurs swell to a curse, the anathema of presumption is hissed against the man of the future, and ostrich-like they hide their heads in the sand of old opinions, lest they should be found bearing witness to the daring feat of plucking heaven's own fruit, the tree of knowledge. 'Tis chiefly, however, when the seal of the last dread enemy death is broken, that the human pack gives tongue. The shape that brings the revelation may be fair as thine, sweet Gabriella, or homely, simple, and factarian as poor old patched Tom Martin's. It matters not. Every gleam of light that flashes from the eastern sky of dawning science must be measured by the quenched lamps of long ago, and if they be found too bright for owlish eyes to bear, must be chased back again to Cimmerian gloom with the cry of "Wildfires, wildfires!" And so my band of beautiful and true, my precious faces gleaming through the rents which the beams of truth have torn in the veil of mystery, be content to know that whilst the world will call thee wildfires, they cannot make thee so. If thou art true thyself, thou'lt live to prove it, and even in the shadow of the world's hard thoughts, with gloomy shroud of superstitious fear upon thee, thou art enshrined too in my heart's dear love, regarded there as angel teachers, ministers flame, with Pentecostal tongues shaking the house of death, and marking with living light the characters of life immortal on that world, made up of grains as small as the atoms of these our revelations. Then bear thy brand a while, my burning lamp. The day shall come when all will know thee as thou art, and though the glimmering lights of this poor Wildfire Club shine with no greater force than firefly sparkles, they have their part in making up the rays of that eternal sun, the infinity of truth that lives for ever. And so will these tiny sparks, aye, when the pages which now record them are turned to dust, and when every letter, binding, cover all are lost, in the mausoleums of the viewless winds, the ages then will do my wildfires justice, know and call them by their proper names, a club of teaching spirits, luring no more, but lighting on man's way to that untrodden bourne in which they are shining. The warning and the beacon, but patience, wildfires, this will be when thought is free, when truth ceases to be ground down to the standard of ignorance, when calf binding and sheepskin covers cease to be the only measure of knowledge, and the only garment in which science deigns to array herself, when printer's ink is washed by the perpetual flow of the waters of inspiration, then and not till then will this little club of life pictures be truly known, and the epithet of the wildfires perish with the things that are not. Readers few or many, these are real life pictures, deem them what you may, torn leaves from just such life histories as your own. Some indeed are shadows from beyond the veil, some echoes from the unknown shore, but echoes only repeating words which every heart has syllabled, and will again, and what they are yourselves will all be soon. Critics, men of pen and ink and power, a power more vast than ever sword could wield, praise, blame, or sneer just as your will dictates, provided always you write, or speak, cut, or build up as honest thought, not custom, popular belief, or slavish service bids ye. Each man's true thought I honour, his praise I covet, for I would not insult the world by offering it a book I deemed too bad for praise. His blame I am prepared to meet and merit, for am I perfect, and should I fear the rod that lessons me to wisdom? His sneer alone falls harmless, for honest effort was never yet crushed down by unreasoning shrugs, nor candid truth by sneering minus logic. And so, most mighty press, whilst I should thank you warmly for your very best, I shall not cringe beneath your worst. The wildfires burn or light, just as you use them, and one of that club now signs herself your servant, Emma Hardinge.